Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls, the Shieldless edition. You may be wondering why I have Lucerne with me. Well, there's been a few changes I've been making off camera, and none of that is getting a few extra weapons. Lucerne is at +5, I also have the S-Dog, one of my, pretty much my favourite thrusting sword in the game. Because it has slash attacks as well as thrust attacks, although, funnily enough, the S-Dog in real life apparently doesn't even have a blade, it's just pure thrusting stuff. Oh, and this. A useless weapon of uselessness, which I'm totally not going to use for anything in particular. Absolutely nothing. So, beyond that, Claymore's still +8 and still my main go-to weapon of go-to. I've decided what I want to do my build. It's basically going to end up being Dex Faith after I've done with all the extra things I want to do with it. And I've made a few changes to how I record these sets as well. I relocked the frame rate, because ultimately what was the point in having it go up to 60 FPS when it will just most of the time tank to 10 or something like that. And we're also online. I have done a few practice sessions with not really recording, but just flat out seeing whether it will actually function online now, and I seem to have I've got a nice balance, so I'm feeling a bit reassured about that. But enough of that, we are going to Sen's. Sen's glorious funhouse. Who is Sen's? I don't know. Does anybody know? What I do know is, it's a house of fun. Full of wonderful snake men. What a thrill. Ow. Well, most of it worked. So yeah, there's a trap out here, which is meant to basically introduce you to Sen's Funhouse. It is a place where there are many traps and much pain. Do I want to parry these guys? I'm terrified, but at the same time, enthralled. Yes. When they do nice moves like that, that's fine. I can appreciate that. Man, I do not want to get hit by these assholes. Just fiddling around with order. That's what I do. Now, as you can see. Right, I just realised. Huh. Kind of thinking on the fly here, but yeah. There are a few extra things I want to get here. I mean, there's lots of stuff in Sen's Funhouse, but you can just absolutely rush through if you can't be bothered with any of it. And this is one of the first things, right off the bat. Whee! There's a secret down here. Oh, there's also a shitload of those horrible-ass Titanite demons and their bloody shitboxes. There is a grand total of, I think, 4 down there. They're always fun to fight. And by fun, I mean excruciating. So, I'm not going to be doing that right now. Instead, you know that kindly old giant gentleman that opened up the gates for us? We're going to pay him a visit. Hello, good sir. I really appreciate you opening up the way for it. It's made things incredibly easy for me. It's very convenient. Oh, God! Good sir, why are you trying to smack me in the face with your foot? That's just exceptionally rude. Ah, you leave me no choice. Yeah, these guys are big, slow, and dumb. They have one move that's like really spazzy and just all over the place, but it's as long as you're careful, they're easy enough to dodge. Oh! Saying that, immediately get stomped. This is your reward. Get to wail on him and finish him off. Oh. Just going to quickly test something. Looks like we're good. Let us carry on with our wondrous adventure. So yeah, that's one of the earliest ways you can get Titanite chunks, which is the 3rd tier of upgrading for normal weapons. Boop. 'Cause, 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 'cause Hello there. Thank you, poise. My love for Force now is just indisputable. The game throws all these horrible walkways and ledges your way, and you just hit people off them. No! One moment. Right! That was what you might call an embarrassing mistake. Let's try that again, but less shit. Watch me immediately get completely punked by the pendulums again. Cliche. You can force this guy off, but you can just also do that. One thing I've noticed about the attacks of enemies in Dark Souls is that they sort of predict where you're going to go. Oh, you're just a complete and total shithead, aren't you, Mr. Snake? Yes. Just take that dart in the face. Anyway, I was saying about attacks. They sort of predict where you go. So, if you face a direction as you're moving that's on a slight incline, what that can end up doing, nice going, is they'll attack where they think you're going to go. Force spam! And you can just sort of get them that way. I was trying to get this guy to get hit by the boulder again, but easier said than done. So that's one way you can get them to attack where you're not going to go, by quickly changing your path. But hey, that doesn't really matter too much. My question is, can I actually parry this guy effectively? Because there is a reason for doing this. He just needs to do a certain attack. And it's that one. Thank you, good sir. Your reward is death! What you're actually meant to do is move the boulders that are being fired up there down here to break the wall. But for some weird reason, that move basically nullifies that entirely. You don't even need to bother. I don't know why, it just does. So, why not? Now then. There is this man over here. He, has a very distinctive attire that we might have heard about.
You seem quite lucid. A rare thing in these times. I am Logan. I'm a bit cooped up, as you can see. I have a bright idea. Suppose you set me free. I'm old and empty-handed, but I could repay you with knowledge and sorcery. This place is melting my mind. The inactivity is repressive.
So yeah, this is Big Hat Logan, who Griggs was talking about before. He tried to get to Anor Londo through Sense Fortress, which is basically the only way through, and he ended up here. It's locked. If you have the Master Key, you can just open it up right away, and that's great. And that's basically why the Master Key is the best starting gift you can ever get. But we didn't do that this time because well, more self-imposed challenge upon self-imposed challenge. So yeah. There is another key that we get later on, which we need anyway to open up a shortcut. So, yeah. That's what we'll do. It's just good to know. There's also a few extra goodies around Sense Fortress which are just worth picking up. For instance, the Ring of Steel Protection. Belonged to Night King Rendell. Oh, where have we heard that name before? I'll spoil it for you. So, his lads were around here, you know, kicking up shit, causing a fuss. Potentially doing what we were doing. Oh, we are doing. Screw you. Freakish snake. At least these ones don't have tits. XCOM 2. I'm looking forward to, but it's just, it's so funny to make fun of that. No, no, yes! Hello there, Onion Bro. It's been too long, how have you been doing?
Oh ho! Ah, where did you come from? Splendid news, I tell you.
Well, he seems to be in fine spirits, unlike pretty much every single other character we've ever talked to, besides Logan, I presume.
Ah, so you see my plight. Yes, indeed. I've run up against a wall, or a ball, to be precise.
Or a moving wall that is round and circular.
To be outrunning those things.
Or a
So
ball.
here I sit in quite a pickle, but who knows? Perhaps we'll have another development.
So once again, he is sitting on his ass and waiting for the world to move for him.
Perhaps I could try some rolling. Bah, no chance. My head would spin.
I love the delivery of all of Siegmeyer's lines. They're just like, haha, bumpus, bravado. It's just, it makes it a delight to listen to every single time. Oh, I don't know, I have a soft spot for that kind of pompous character. It's always good fun. So, enough getting sidetracked. Let's actually get moving. Ah, Jesus! How did you not trigger the trap that's there? Also, how are you already aggroed on me? Dark Souls, why you do this? Still surprises me even now. Oh yeah, there was a trap there. Just thought I should tell you. There's also some extra goodies there that I think I'll go back for on a perhaps a return journey, but whatever. I want to open up a few shortcuts and do extra things first. It's pretty much a good idea whenever you go into a new area in Dark Souls, or Dark Souls 2, or dare I say Dark Souls 3, that you go for an area, you open up the shortcuts, and then after that you can just go through and explore the area. Because after that you've pretty much got access to all areas. Oh, one more should do it. If you haven't already noticed, I'm going to tear down the wall with balls. With mighty balls of ballsiness! Because there is a very, very useful item over here. Oh yeah, if you actually hit that ball, even if it's not really moving terribly quickly or you're doing it from the side, it will knock you on your ass. It is exceptionally annoying. This is what I was after. The serpent is an imperfect dragon and symbol of the undead. His habit of devouring prey even larger than itself has led to an association with gluttony. This gold ring, engraved with the serpent, boosts its wearer's item discovery, so that more items can be amassed. Imperfect dragon, you say? Serpent, you say? I wonder how that could relate to anything we've seen. It's always worth reading the item descriptions. Miyazaki put so much effort into them. There's something faintly suspicious about this. Try chest. Jackass. Let's take a moment to have a look at what's different about this chest. I did pick up the binoculars, I think. Even though I've like barely used them. I haven't! Oh, lazy me. Well, first off, we have the chain there that is no longer circular, it is in fact broken. And if you move the camera just slightly, you can see that the chest actually moves. This is a mimic, and you can choose to fight them if you like, but they have a shit ton of health and they do a shitload of damage. Alternatively, you can just do that. Thank you, Mr. Mimic. You've been exceptionally handy. Out of curiosity, does it actually say why it's able to do that? No! It just does, because reasons. Oh, just have a nap. Stretch my arms. Sleep. But yeah, if you're not using Lloyd's talismans for invasions and such, you can just use it to open up mimics like that. You miss out on the souls, but if you're really that desperate for souls, there are better ways to get it. And yeah, you can always go back and kill it later if you like. Not really much purpose. So yeah, this is the thing you're meant to move to, where is it? It is down there, actually. You can move it going down that way and open up the path, but again, I use the snake, because reasons. Oh, more pendulums. On a good day, I can run through this area without ever being hit by one of those sodding things. On a bad day... Oh god, I have like no health. Oh! Right, nice. Stop doing that move! Stop being a dick. Oh. You're just being senor dickaroni, aren't you, right now? Fine, fine, be that way. God, these guys have stupid amounts of poise. How am I alive? Whatever. The gods intended it this way. Do not question it. I should probably explain how poise works, actually. Every hit you does a bit of poise damage, and the heavier and burlier the weapon you have, and what type of attack you do, and whether you have one-handing or two-handing, does a certain amount of poise damage. And this builds up. Poise damage slowly regenerates over time, like over seconds, I think. I'm not too sure on the actual logistics of it all beyond general working, but it regenerates over time, but it does build up. That's why you can, like, two-handed falchion and just go R1 spam for days and just break through everybody's armor. Just go full Ouroboros. Kinda silly, but yeah. That's how it is. Alright. Now go! Oh, good sir, were you, perchance, going to blow me up with electric magic? That's what I think of your bullshit. Well, that didn't go too badly. Boop. And now we are atop Ascend's fortress. What's so great about being atop Ascend's fortress? Well, besides completing the area, there's this tiny little balcony with a nice little bonfire. Just one moment, I will return soon.